Welcome to the Bucket List Buster Travel Show. Your Bucket List Buster Travel Show helps you make your bucket list dreams come true. Host Karen Duncan spent decades running the travel business. She, along with other industry experts, share their knowledge, travel stories, and wisdom about how to travel, where to travel, and how to have a stress-free adventure. Tune in, give yourself permission to focus on yourself, create lifelong memories with families and friends, and finally learn to relax, rejuvenate, and reconnect. And here's the host of your show, Karen Duncan.
Aloha, buenos dias, ni hao, yahate, bula, guten tag, bonjour, jumbo, boa tarde, everything's Irie, and good afternoon. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Welcome. Your Bucket List Buster here, Karen Duncan. This is an exciting week for me. I am about to head out on a big bucket list adventure. I've been talking about it for the longest. So today we leave our home here in Panama and we will go to Panama City, spend the night there. That's what we do because the traffic here in Panama is crazy. So you go to the hotel close to the airport, spend the night there, get up early in the morning. Otherwise, we'd have to leave where we live about 2 o'clock in the morning. That's a bit much. But anyway, so we're going to leave here and then we head to Tokyo tomorrow. And that is just super duper excited. Checking off my bucket list. And gonna spend some quality time with family and friends. I get to see my boy and get to see David and get to hang out with Mitchell and just have a whole new life experience. You know, a bucket list doesn't necessarily have to be about traveling. For a lot of people, it does include traveling, but it doesn't have to be. And I just wanted to kind of talk about some of the other things that I've done, that I'm doing as I check off bucket lists items. One, singing in a band. I got to sing with a rock band on Sunday at Pacific Roadhouse, a restaurant up in the mountains here in Panama with the Jim Fatal band. Really, really fun. I did Proud Mary. So I am doing that. I've got another one of those type experiences coming up. I'll save that for a later time, but it was just really fun. Then, you know, one of the reasons I'm in Panama is because how many of you out there actually watch House Hunters International? I was obsessed with that show. It's on HGTV and it talks about people that decide to move internationally for whatever reason, for school, they're retired, they're going back to family roots, they want to do something different, whatever it is. And I've been watching it probably for, 7 years at least. And my husband thought he was going to have to do an intervention. He kept saying, every time I look at you, you're watching this show. I'd watch it early in the mornings before people woke up. I'd watch it late at night before I went to bed. And finally, when we decided that we were going to move to Panama, and part of the reason I had the courage to even attempt something like that is after watching so many people do it, it's like, why can't we do that? And so I applied for the show prior to coming to Panama, and they responded. And we went through the whole process. And needless to say, our episode of House Hunters International will air on May 1st at 10:30 Eastern Time in the States. And it's on HGTV. Home and Garden TV, I think is what that stands for. So if you can download that, no matter where you are in the world, get a chance to see Mitchell and myself. I have no idea what it's going to look like. They take a lot of footage and then they create a storyline based on the information that they take. So I don't know what kind of storyline we have. Mitchell and I are pretty funny people. We get along very well. And it was an experience. It's a lot tougher being on TV than you think, and the number of times that you have to do things. So I hope you will enjoy that. I hope you get a chance to watch it. We'll be flying, so we're going to miss it. Believe it or not, we've been waiting, I don't know how long, to actually see this, and we had planned to have a watch party and the whole works, and they sent us the date, the air date, and it's, of course, the date that we leave. So hopefully we'll get a link and we'll get a chance to see it while we're on the ship. You know, going to Japan and Alaska, both of those were top on my bucket list, and the fact that I'm going to get to do them both in the same trip is going to be an amazing experience. It's a little scary, and it's really funny to watch my husband, my big burly husband. He's always wanted to go to Alaska, and I think he wanted to go to Japan. But when you start looking at where we've traveled, he's not really traveled anywhere where there's such a huge language barrier. No, we don't speak a lot of Spanish, but we lived in Texas. We know enough Spanish or can navigate through speaking with people who speak Spanish. But Japanese, I don't have a clue. And even when we put it in Google Translate to say thank you, it's like, I can't even pronounce that. So we are going in totally blind when it comes to language, and then the money is so different. So I downloaded a money converter or currency converter so that we can not get taken. It's called XE Currency Exchange or Currency Converter. And this one is for iPads and iPhones and that type of thing. But you just put it in the country that's the primary source of money. So in our case, when we get to Japan, it'll be the yen, and then it converts it to US dollars. And so, like, even in the taxi, you know, we know that we've been told that the taxi from the airport to our hotel is going to be about $89 because it's a little ways. But we don't want to take the train because we're chicken. We get in at night, and that's just going to be too much of a hassle for us to try to get our luggage and all that at nighttime. At least that's what we're saying, because we're old and we don't want to try something new at night. But so we've got to make sure that when the cab driver tells us how much, we know exactly how much money we're giving them so that we don't get taken, I suppose. So it'll be very, very interesting. Next on my bucket list was I wanted to start taking longer cruises. So this is my longest cruise to date. It'll be 16 days, 15 days, but we crossed the international date line, so we'll see the same day twice. So this will be another one of my bucket lists that I'm chopping off. And it's a 23-day trip, basically. So that's longer than I've ever been on any trip, other than going to visit my grandmother in Mississippi when I was a kid, because I'd go spend summers. But so this is, a lot goes into all kinds of bucket lists. Experiencing the world with family and friends is another one on my bucket list, and I get to do that. My son, David, Mitchell, we're going to meet up with David's family in Vancouver. When we cruised with my mom and 3 of our 4 kids and family and friends, that's just really fun stuff. I'm still remembering that experience. And I've been on a lot of trips, but hadn't taken one with our adult children until then. And that's the most fun. We've been trying to recreate that since we did that over 2 years ago, maybe even 3 years ago. But anyway, so we're really trying to make it so that we can get all the kids back on a trip and experience another place together. I think that's absolutely great. And we're hoping to do that in Alaska. We're thinking about doing Alaska exclusively for Edwin's last week on the ship, because he's part of the entertainment crew, and so we're thinking about all just kind of doing the Alaska piece in September, which may be fun as a family. Also, I had a great interview this week with one of our partners, Apple Leisure Group, and Ben Recob is our guest speaker today on the show. Excuse me, I've got a trip on the mind. And he's really fun. He reminded me a lot of myself, actually. We had a great conversation about Apple Leisure Group. They bought Mark Travel or combined with Mark Travel, and they are our tour company that we use, basically kind of like a wholesaler that we use for our packages, airline, hotel transfers, and excursions and tours. And we package that together. They have it already packaged, and they get us some fantastic pricing. I promise you, you can't beat these prices and know that you're getting a quality product. So Ben is on the show with us today. So I hope that you have a good time listening, because once this show is over this week, everything else I do for the next 3 weeks will be on the road. So you will want to stay tuned to where we're going, what we're doing, and like us on Facebook and Instagram, folks. You're going to miss all the pictures if you don't. So I'm going to take a quick break. When we get back, we're just going to go ahead and talk to Ben at Apple and get this show started, and I'm going to finish packing sometime today. This is Karen Duncan, your Bucket List Buster. I'll be back in a minute.
If you like the sound of vacationing at a 5-star luxury included resort, Sandals has a symphony of romantic indulgences just for you. Sandals hits all the right notes for two people in love. Miles of pristine beaches harmonize with beautiful turquoise seas. Love Nest suites are orchestrated with private plunge pools and tranquility soaking tubs for two. The tempo increases with unlimited land and water sports, including scuba diving and golf. Your taste buds are treated to a rhapsody of 5-star global gourmet dining at up to 16 world-class restaurants, including endless pours of premium spirits and wine, music to anyone's ears. From live entertainment to taxes, tips, and transfers, it's all included, all unlimited, and only at Sandals, the world's only 5-star luxury included resorts, voted world's best 21 years in a row.
To book your Sandals vacation, please contact Peaks Cruises and Tours at peakscruisestours.com. Welcome back. This is Karen Duncan, your Bucket List Buster, and I have Mr. Ben Recob, who is the Senior Manager of Education and Implementation for Apple Leisure Group, one of our premier travel suppliers. Thanks, Ben, for joining us today. How are you?
Oh, I am absolutely wonderful, Karen. So, yeah, I know. Thanks for saying my title correctly. There's a lot of syllables in there. Implementation isn't the most exciting 5-syllable word in the industry, but yes, I appreciate you really nailing that. That's important. So
there you go. I know I stumbled just a little bit, but you know, when you got that, do you put that whole title on your business card?
I always say it took me longer to say it than it actually took me to earn it. So I think that title is kind of. It's ridiculous. I got to find a way. But actually what I do is it's kind of cool. I'm not a complete nerd. What I do is I kind of help accounts that are, two hats I wear. One is, here you are a travel agency and you want to do business with Apple Leisure Group and you just don't know where to start. You're like, hey, I have an idea. I really like your products. I have your services. So my team will step in and launch you kind of to success. We'll go through a 90-day program. We'll show you all about deals and promotions, how to reward your clients, how to use our system effectively to spot deals and other things, and how to kind of simplify the process. And then also I manage the education side, so all of our documentation and all that boring stuff that you don't want to know about. So. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's all a part of it. People just people think being a travel agent is just, romantic and we get to travel around the world. They don't understand that our suppliers and partners that we work with, like yourself, are really trying to help us increase our success. And in doing so, there